Hey there, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the 704 High School Highlight Podcast. My name is Jeff Taylor. We are not in studio. We've taken the studio once again on the road. We are at the Cannon School with Coach Kelvin Drakeford and the girls' basketball team, the varsity players. It's just a chance to get out and let you guys get to know a little more about some schools in our area that you may not read, see, or hear about all the time. So first of all, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for your time. We're just going to go through real quick, introduce themselves. This is Coach. I'll let him introduce himself real quick.
Kelvin Drakeford. This is my 6th year as the girls varsity basketball head coach and program director.
Cool. And we'll start over here. You are?
I'm Kiara Morrow, and I'm a junior.
Cool. And you are?
I'm Trinity Mathis, and I'm a senior.
Cool. And?
Jamira Cherry, and I'm a sophomore.
Cool. Awesome. So thanks for the time. Let's start. Let me ask you guys first about this. Coach, I'll start with you. Tell us a little bit about the Cannon School, because people may not know a whole lot about it. Just talk to me a little bit about the school itself.
So Cannon School is a private school in Concord, North Carolina. We are junior K through 12th grade. We have about 1,200 or more students. We play in the NCISAA 4A state, which is the biggest for private schools in North Carolina, and our conference is the Charlotte Independent School Athletic Association. That includes Charlotte Latin, Charlotte Country Day, Charlotte Christian, Covenant Day, and Providence Day. So 6 other schools in our conference with us.
Cool. And just talk to me a little bit about how competitive it is. I mean, a lot of times when people talk about the conferences and you get into the Southwestern 4A with the Providence, Butler and stuff, a lot of times when you talk about the private schools, people don't think about the competition as much. Does that make sense?
Yeah, for
and,
sure.
And just tell me how competitive of a conference it is.
So our conference in itself is one of the strongest in the private school state. We usually take care of business against other opponents in the state. Providence Day has historically been strong. Charlotte Latin has some good young talent. Charlotte Country Day as well. So it's a pretty tough, competitive conference. And then in the state itself, we've got some good competition with North Raleigh Christian, Wesleyan Christian, Raven Gap. We have teams that send players to go high major as well, just like a lot of the bigger public schools.
For the ladies, we'll start over here. Talk to me a little bit about the conference. How tough is it being a part of this conference, and what's the competition like?
Okay, so the conference, it's kind of easy a little bit, I would say, because our team is so talented and we have a lot of good players, so sometimes the games can be a little boring,
right.
I guess. But, of course, competition is competition either way, so, yeah.
Got it. What about down here, this end? Talk about the competition a little bit.
I would say the same thing, that it's mostly like we're just going through the motions and like getting ourselves ready for a bigger competition, if that makes sense.
No, absolutely.
I agree. I feel like when we do have a big blowout, like at halftime, we use that as an opportunity to have fun and like relax throughout the game.
Cool. I'm going to go back over here real quick. Talk to me a little bit about basketball. How did you get started in it? Is it your favorite sport?
Yeah, it's my favorite sport. So I started basketball my 5th grade year. I started taking it seriously 6th grade at Quarter Light Middle School, and I transferred here my 9th grade year. I'm a reclass, so this is my 3rd year on the basketball team. And I don't know, like over the years, I've like fell in love. It became my passion, and so yeah.
Awesome. Let's go down there.
So basketball is my #1 sport right now. Even though I'm not looking to do it in college, I still love the sport and will give my all during the season. I started back in 4th grade, I think, with AAU, and then progressed to school ball and just got really into it towards middle school to freshman year.
Yeah, I love basketball. I've been playing since I was in 4th grade as well. This is my first year at Cannon, so meeting the girls and being on the team has been great.
Cool, awesome. Coach, yourself, how'd you get into basketball, and maybe what got you to this point as being a coach?
Yeah, so I've been playing basketball, my parents say, since I could walk, probably 3 years old, 4 years old. And then I had a passion, I loved it. Played other sports, but basketball was always #1. Once high school came, I kind of focused in on that. Went on to play my freshman year. I went to Barton College in Wilson, North Carolina, then transferred out and finished my career at Catawba College down in Salisbury. After that, I attempted to try to, play overseas, and it didn't work out for me, but I just happened to be up here training guys at Cannon School, where I graduated from in '08, and I was training guys, and the men's team picked up a new head coach, Coach Che Roth, and he just asked me like, hey, are you interested in coaching? And I kind of joined in and went from there. So I was JV assistant for 5 years and JV head coach, varsity assistant for 5 years. And then the girls' job opened up here at Cannon, and I took a leap of faith, and we took it over, and now it's starting to run itself.
When you talk about coaching, is there maybe one thing in your mind as a coach you set out to do? Is there one kind of thing you focus on and let everything go from there? And if so, what is that?
My biggest thing is having great people. Once they leave here, I want to make sure that they are ready for the real world and ready to make an impact in a positive way. Our tagline for us is leave a legacy. So that talks about, how do you leave this place once it's gone? What kind of impact are you making on the current people that will affect their future as well? So just having great kids that are ready to make an impact and great character, have integrity, things like that.
Awesome. Put you on the spot here. So leave a legacy. When the coach says that, what does that mean to you?
To me, leave a legacy means to, like he said, have integrity. Everything that Drakeford teaches us, be confident, be responsible, safe, all those things as you're older, going into college, keep those things with you.
Cool. What about down there? When you talk about leave a legacy, and let's talk about it like this. You're out of school where I'm sure you have the lower grades too. Mm-hmm. Is that in your mind as you think about leave a legacy, not only for the high school kids and the middle school kids, but the younger kids also?
Yes, I would say to me, leave a legacy means to be able to show the younger kids and the kids coming up to upper school how we're confident and how we just strive for greatness and we're respectful and we just do the things that need to get done.
Same question?
For sure. There's 2 girls coming up next year, Madison and Brooke, and I absolutely love them so much. When I think of leave a legacy, I also think of inspiring them and making them feel comfortable and just let them know this is their place. They can do something great here too.
So if I'm correct, Coach, 2021 state championship, correct?
Yes,
cool.
Sir, 2021.
So let's talk about this year. I think now you have 16 wins on the season as of right now. I believe 3-0 in the conference.
Yes, sir.
Just talk about getting out of the gate so quickly and entering the conference play, where the team stands right about now.
Yeah, so for us, I am a coach that always takes a loss as a lesson. So I try to front load our competition as much as possible. I mean, we've played Winston-Salem Christian national team has them ranked as 6th highest in the country on insider exposure. We've went out to Arizona Nike Tournament of Champions and played, teams that are number 1 considered in their state. We left that with a 3rd place finish. We've played 1-of-1 prep with Ella Hobbs, who's a big-time recruit, and we've played Camden, South Carolina, with Joyce Edwards, who's arguably the number 1 junior in the country. So we've played tough competition early on to prepare ourselves for this late push. Now that we're in conference, our goal is always to win the conference, but ultimately we want to win it being undefeated. We have a tough game on the road Friday against Providence Day that our girls will be well prepared for to take care of business, because I think
they're number 2. Are they tied? Are you tied?
We're tied 3-0 right
now.
We're tied 3-0. Max Preps has them number 1 in NCISAA.
That's okay though, right?
We're number 2, so got a little bulletin board talk for us for the week. But honestly, it comes down to about us. Focusing in, I say the only team that can beat us is ourselves. If we're dialed in and focused, we should take care of business. I do believe that.
One of the things he mentioned, the coach, was front-loading the schedule and stuff like that. And you mentioned you went to Arizona, correct?
Yes, sir.
And how long ago was that?
We went over winter break, so we were there December 18th through the 23rd.
To go to the Cannon School and to be able to do stuff like that, to go to Arizona and stuff. How cool is that to not only play, here in Charlotte, but to get outside and to go to other states and stuff? How cool is that?
It's super cool. I think it's a blessing. Not many schools do that, and so I think it's a great opportunity, and it was really nice.
Yeah. Out west, cool trip?
Yes, because then you also got to see different players from different states and how they operate. and like almost like see how you're different in a way and be able to like beat them still at their own game.
Cool.
Yeah, I feel like it was definitely a big team bonding experience too. A lot of us never been out west, and I feel like the competition is what we needed.
Got it. I covered the game earlier this week against Charlotte Christian, and I believe at the end of the first quarter, I think it was 30-3.
Yeah.
At one point, it may have been 30-0. I'm not quite sure. And my question to you, coach, is as a coach, you get that far ahead, and it's just the end of the first quarter. How do you keep the girls focused in terms of, continue to play, but walk that fine line of, and I know, like, I think the final score was 83-20.
Yes, sir.
And you got a coach, and the girls underneath the starters need to play.
Right.
I'm a big
Right.
advocate of like when people get blown out.
Yeah.
Well, the bench needs to play.
Right.
And if they score, have at it.
Right.
How do you coach that type of deal when you're up 30-3 and then you're gonna blow them out? How do you coach that?
I think one of the things for us is we always talk about the long game, the playing for February 25th. I think it is a state championship. So we're always trying to execute. And last night I kind of said like, hey, let's move the ball a little bit more instead of trying to make the immediate play. Let's share the ball. Let's make plays for each other. I think a gift and a curse for us is you've heard our girls talk about our depth, and so like my next group coming off the bench is almost dang near just as strong as my starter. So
Right.
that does make it a little bit difficult for us. But at the end of the day, I just tell them like we got to play. We have to be respectful of the score. We do. We're very cognizant of that. But move the ball. Defense, we try to play as many different zones as we can. Things we don't even really work on, we try to just do it so we can be respectful at the end of the day.
For you ladies down there, listen, you're teenage girls. It's sports. When you get that far ahead of a game and it's like 30-3, how do you keep the level head? How do you not become like, what's the word I'm looking for? What I'm trying to get at, overconfident stuff. How do you keep that level head of going, okay, I still need to compete when you're in that position of being up so much?
So I take it as when we're up that much, it's time to like work on things that you personally need to work on. So like for me, I wanted to work on decision making and getting into my shot. And for other people, it was like working on that one more pass, calling for the ball, stuff like that. So you get to work on stuff.
I agree. We just need to work on like the little things that we wouldn't do like in general. So if we do blow them out from like layups, then we'll know like we need to work on our plays, and that's about it.
Same?
Yep, I agree. It gives us the time to work on things, as they said, like defense or ball passing, and for me personally, like working on transitioning the ball well, scoring more.
Cool. Awesome. So let's talk a little bit about in terms of off the court. I think I asked you last night or something. Obviously a great team on the court.
Yep.
Talk to me a little bit about off the court, how these girls kind of stay together as friends. I know, you can have, I think you said to me, groups within the group.
Yeah.
How do you keep everybody together off the court in terms of friendships and relationships?
Yeah, we do. Like I said, we do our team meals. I think the girls do some meals on them with themselves also. A lot of the times, what you have a perk of at private schools, a lot of free time sometimes.
Right.
So you'll see them all together, get together. But really, it's just about coexisting. I think we've had a really talented group. But what matters is that off the court bond of being tight knit and really caring about each other. That also brings success on the court for them.
Somebody mentioned, it may have been down on that end, AAU a little bit. So some of you girls have played together for a long, long time. Has that been a benefit to come from AAU into this?
Yes. Because even though I didn't play AU this year, but like from past experience, it was like a push to like lead me into the school season and like to know exactly what I need to work on, what I'm good at, and stuff like that.
Yeah, coming into here, I was on Team Curry with two other girls on the team, which is Samaya and Maya, and I knew them before I got here, so they helped me a lot, like get close with the girls and like bond with them more.
Did you have that same experience?
No, I didn't play any AAU with any of my teammates, but during school and school hours, that's 8 hours in the day, so I still had time to bond and make friends through basketball. So.
I think that's the common goal is what she said, that round basketball is special because it brings people together who sometimes would never meet each other.
Yeah.
Along those lines, the one reason we kind of started this podcast was for me growing up, and I'm almost 55, to know that high school sports is not high school football.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. There's a lot more to high school sports than just football on Friday nights. Talk to me a little bit about the fans that show up. When I was here, it seemed a little crazy at some points. Just talk to me. We'll start there again. Talk to me about your fans a little bit and the students.
Tell us about our fans.
So we don't really get that many fans, and it's mostly parents. But the people that come, they're really supportive, and they're like really screaming. They go crazy, even though there's like 5 of them. But they're still getting wild and crazy. The only problem is our parents don't match the energy. They just like kind of sit there.
Yeah.
So.
But like we are our own fans.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
the
Yeah,
people,
cool.
The people on the bench, like when we're on there, we're all cheering for the subs, the starters. We're probably louder than the students at half time.
Yeah, we don't really have like fans, I guess. Like we're our own fans, like
Right,
she
no.
said. Like ever since freshman year, there hasn't really been a crowd, I guess, but it's not that bad because we feed off our own energy.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this then. What are the fans missing?
Man.
What are the fans missing? When we talk about it, you know what I'm getting at? You know what I'm getting at?
I'll say,
some
I
people
mean-
are like, oh, I'm not going to go to the girls' basketball game. What are they missing?
And I think that's part of it. We are encouraging our student section to come out. I mean, like you said, 2021 state champions. Last year we lost in the semifinals. This year I think we have a really good shot of winning it. So it's like, we're putting a consistent product out there that, we hope that they come out and support and see that. And these girls, at the end of the day, they're classmates, they're friends with these kids that we would love to be our fans. So that's an invitation for you guys to come out and support the girls basketball program as well. But what they are missing are, some girls that can flat out hoop. They shoot threes, they attack the basket, they cross people up, they get an and one and they flex. So, the only difference honestly is for high school is like our girls aren't dunking the basketball the same way the boys do. That's okay. But we're just as talented, as skilled, I feel like, as the boys. They dunk it a little bit more, and but that's what they're missing at the end of the day.
Okay, I know the coach put it so eloquently, and he did. So tell me, what are they missing? And let me ask you this. So let me back up with this question then. So you get some parents, and maybe not as many fans. And you can be honest with me and stuff. Does that bring you down a little bit at all, or do you just block it out, going, "Hey, we're going to go out and play"? Because you said we're our biggest fans. But you know what I'm getting at when you walk out there and maybe there's 5 people in a gym. Like, let me back up. So before I did television here in the podcasting, I was a youth pastor for about 15 to 16 years. And when I would walk into a youth event and there were 3 kids, I'd be like, oh, bummer.
Right.
And it would just kind of suck the energy out of me. But I realized as time went on, those 3 kids were my audience, and they were important.
Right.
So does it kind of, knock the wind out of you when you don't see a bunch of fans, or you just put it out of your mind, we're going to go play basketball?
I guess there's pros and cons to not having fans there. Like, if I like miss a shot, I know my friend is gonna be in class. So like, but at the
It's gonna be a
same
daily
time,
thing,
at the same time, I would like want somebody like, but my parents cheer for me, and so all of our parents cheer for us. So it's, I don't know, it doesn't really put me down. I'm just like, well, time
Let's
to
go.
play. Yep.
Same thing?
Right.
Yeah, it's mostly like, well, I'm used to this, not seeing a whole crowd. So then when we get a whole crowd,
yeah.
for certain games, it's
It's like,
oh my
whoa.
God.
Shocking, yeah, for sure. I would say like she said, we're used to, and I feel like when we have our music and our playlist, we all like to dance. I don't
Yeah.
care what anybody says.
I saw that when I came to practice before the game.
We are all dancing and singing songs, so we're straight.
I don't know if it was one of y'all. I was trying to do a shot with him last night, and I don't know who it was.
Samaya.
She started dancing, so I didn't show that shot in our story. But anyway, that's either here or there. Okay, let's go back to real quick last season. Were y'all all on the varsity last year?
I was.
Those
Yes,
two,
those two.
Kiki wasn't here
Okay,
last year.
so for these two, semifinals is where you
Semifinals,
lost.
Yes, sir.
Did that kind of put a fire in you to, you knew the team had won in 2021, you lose in the semis, put a fire under you for this season?
Definitely. I feel like we shouldn't have lost last year, and so that I feel like we definitely winning this year. So it definitely did.
So are we saying we're going to win the state championship?
Yeah, definitely.
Talk to me a little bit. I mean, do people understand how much it hurts when you get that close?
Right.
Do people really understand, those who are not athletes, do we really understand what it means to lose that and what the hurt is like?
No, because for an athlete to get that far and it's basically like, oh, well, can't go any farther. You're almost there, but nope, you're not going, basically. That's how it feels. And it's like, it like makes a fire like burn inside of you like, well, next year we're definitely getting past this stage. We're going to win and do all this.
Got it.
I'm not gonna lie. Last year, whenever we lost, I was crying. Like, it
I
hurt me
cried
so
too.
bad. Like, it was a different type of level of pain.
Yeah.
Like, I was so sad, but we're gonna win this year. So.
So it increases the drive for this year,
Yes.
and gives you the goal to shoot for. All right, I know the coach is sitting right here, and we talked about the 6 years being the coach. For y'all three, what does this man mean to you?
He means a lot to me. Like, I care about Drakeford. He's done a lot for me. He's helped me get into this school. He's like helped me with my confidence. I'm still getting there, but he's helped me with a lot. So.
But, hey, you've done a wonderful job sitting here, so
Yeah.
props to you. It's been great. So yeah, down there, talk to me a little bit.
Same for me. It was more like he was like my confidence boost, and being able to work with him outside of in practice with the school team, it was kind of like we shared a bond. So then I was able to like trust him more when I came in my freshman year, and it like just like sealed the deal basically.
Same. I've known Draper for like 2 years now. It's been a short time, but it's felt like a long time. And I'm definitely the shy type of kind of person, so he's definitely helped me with my confidence and breaking out of my shell.
And coach, I know these girls mean the world to you and stuff.
Yeah.
And you mentioned it a little bit earlier, but let's just sum it up one more time. To be a coach means what?
To be a coach is to be a leader, but to also grow leaders. These girls are talking about their confidence, and we usually have daily quotes, and I'm slacking a little bit. But, everything deals with them being confident with who they are, being confident to lead the next generation. And like you said, like I said earlier, making an impact. The basketball is great. But I want great people as well. So for me, it's just loving them. I've got 3 boys at home. These are my girls.
Right.
I don't have any girls, so these are my girls, the 12 that I have. And to see them every single day make strides and make progress and obtain their goals is, enough for me as a coach.
Cool. Let me wrap it up with this then. In terms of, they obviously talked about what they learned. They've learned from you, and I know in growing up and leading kids and the time that I did, I learned from them.
Right.
What do you learn from these ladies? As well as anybody you've ever coached, what do you learn from the people you coach?
Yeah, value each day. Make the most of it. There's days where we don't feel like it, but we fake it till we make it. There's days they don't feel like practicing, and I know that, but they push through. They make the most of their day. So that's what I've learned is just make the most of it every single day. Be present, be where your feet are, and enjoy life.
Ladies, coach, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for taking time to watch the entire podcast. This wouldn't be possible without you guys checking in and checking us out. So we appreciate that. Make sure you like us, subscribe, comment, all the things you do. And you can check this out on BayHeckleSports.com, our YouTube page, and also any place that you listen to your podcast. Till next time, have a great week.